the 3-year punishment ends. Ethan brought white Moonlight to pick me up. He said, I heard that you have learned to be good. Then give you a chance to repent. Sophie Nishiki is gentle and generous. Learn more from him. Don't get into trouble in the future. Everyone thought I was going to cry and complain. Wrap around him as a life-saving straw. But I just bowed my head calmly. Bow deeply and thank you. Ethan frowned. Arya, I'm your fiancé. You don't have to be like me. I smiled. Soon it won't. 3 years of hard work. I've finally saved up enough points. 10 more days will be free from this world forever. Since then, Arya has been Twilight. Forever with you. I just got back from the mountains. I haven't had time to change my clothes yet. Was urged to the open space at the head of the village. More than a dozen luxury cars were parked in the open space. First, that black off-road is Ethan's. Not yet close. I heard a noisy conversation. I was standing behind a tree. Slowly stopped. Not seen for 3 years. I don't know about our pampered eldest lady. What is it like now? What kind of lady is she? If the Goof family didn't raise her. She went to bed early. Arya is a bit squeamish and stubborn. Suffer a little. Sharpen his character. It's also for his good. Finally, this soft female voice. I immediately heard it was Sophie. He was the white Moonlight that Ethan couldn't ask for when he was young. Divorced and returned to China with children over the years. Most of the time he lived in the Goof family. In a dispute 3 years ago, I accidentally injured Sophie. He was sent to the mountains by Ethan. He said as he left, if the 3-year makeover is not good for you, then you will be locked up for another 6 years and 10 years. Arya, you're so ruthless at such a young age. I punish you for your own good. You don't change your nature. How to be the daughter-in-law of the Goof family in the future. It's for my good. So leave me alone in this little village. Bullying. So not a penny is left for me. Let me fend for myself. Extinguished, so I was cut off from all contact with the outside world. Turn me into a dumb and deaf person. I wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. The wind in the mountains was cool. My dry, yellow hair was blown messy. Stick it on the cheeks. The forehead is like withered grass. And that originally full and delicate face. Now it is like a wrinkled jujube that has lost water and is wrinkled. At the age of 22, fine lines appeared. Sophie was right. Last time, it was Sophie who was generous. I didn't call the police, otherwise he would have gone to jail a long time ago. Sophie smiled softly. I also don't want to embarrass the court. Arya is his fiancé after all. He said, glancing at Ethan. But there was moisture in the bottom of his eyes. You say, what will Arya's reaction be when she sees the Tingjun? Needless to say, the sky will fall apart to cry first. Then it was wrapped around like a dogskin plaster. He refused to let go of death. Just came all the way. Then this place is really poor. It's all dirt roads. Arya's delicate temperament. It's been enough this time. Ethan smiled coldly. I came to pick her up in person this time. It's to see if she's repentant. What if it hasn't changed? Ethan's voice was dull. Then let him live for another 3 years. Your marriage. Sophie bit her lip. A little nervously looked at him. Naturally, the marriage can only be postponed. Sophie lowered her eyes in disappointment. At this moment, suddenly someone with sharp eyes saw me. That's Arya. No, that village girl is Arya. How can it be? It's not like I don't know what it's like to go to the court. Everyone looked at each other. The bottom of his eyes was shocked. The court army seems to be Chowen. Sophie naturally grabbed Ethan's arm. Pointed at me. You look at the necklace around his neck. Ethan's gaze finally fell on my face. Finally, it was fixed on the necklace. When I was forcibly taken away from the Goof family by his people, I didn't bring any jewelry. Only this humble silver necklace is me. Relics. He didn't let people take it off. When Arya Ethan called my name, the voice was cold. It is completely inconsistent with the gentle manner in which Sophie speaks. If it was once upon a time, I'm sure I'm wronged. began to be sticky and jealous and quarreled with him. But nowadays, my heart is like a dead leaf swirling in the autumn wind. There has been no sorrow or joy for a long time. Mr. Gu, I brushed my sideburns away. Hang behind the ear. Ethan frowned slightly. I heard that you learned to be obedient. Then give you a chance to repent. Your sister Sophie has a gentle nature. Be generous and gentle. I'm back in Beijing. Learn more from her. Don't mess around all day. Let your family worry about you. I didn't answer. Just nodded lightly. Ethan's eyebrows furrowed a little tighter. I used to be lively. There were a lot of words, and he was annoyed. I frowned when I saw it. Now, as he wished, I stopped talking. He's still annoyed, but I no longer care about his joys and sorrows, just standing with his head down, like a piece of dead wood that has been cut off. There are no emotions whatsoever. Arya, what's wrong with your feet? A girl in the crowd suddenly spoke. She looked at me in amazement. There was a hint of sympathy in his eyes. I took a look. Oh, it's the first year. It's too cold in winter. I learned to chop wood. Hurt his foot by a piece of wood. Nails fall out and never grow back. I curled up on my feet, but I was wearing a pair of sandals that had broken down several times. There's no way to hide it. Just leave it alone. Why didn't you tell me if you were injured? Give you the money, why not go to buy medicine? Ethan's voice grew colder. I don't quite understand why he was so angry. You can only press your head lower. Hopefully he'll quench his anger. Take me back to Beijing. I have one more thing to do. Forget it, it's not too early. You can go back with me first. Ethan just finished speaking. I bowed deeply to him. Thank you, Mr. Gu. My voice is a little small, but the words are clear. The air suddenly became quiet. There is only the sound of the wind coming and going. Occasionally, there is a high-pitched whistling. Maybe it's because people in the circle are curious. What has become of me 3 years later? Maybe more people want to see my jokes. There were a dozen or so people, but now they were quiet and did not speak. Even Sophie. Their eyes widened slightly. Ethan was stunned at first. Then it was as if he had suddenly become angry. Arya, I'm your fiancé. You don't have to be like me. Pretend to be humble. I know you resent me for sending you here for 3 years. But it's also you who are the ones who do it. Sophie was almost blind in one eye. I took a deep breath. Suppress the emotions tumbling in your heart. The palms of the hands were pinched very tightly. Do not do nail art. Fingers that work all day. The nails also become coarse and hard. Almost burst the palm of your hand. But I still didn't say anything. 10 more days. I will leave this world forever. Everything about them has nothing to do with me. Come to think of it. I was relieved. Miss Sue, what happened back then? I'm sorry. I bowed again. This time it was against Sophie. The waist bends lower. It's even deeper than the one just now. Ethan's face turned pale. Clench your back molars tightly. Half a minute. He suddenly stepped forward. Clamped my wrist. Arya, whatever you're thinking. I'm warning you. Don't hurt Sophie's mother and son again. And one more time. I'm going to do it harder. He dragged me to the car. Push me into the car. I can take you back to Beijing. I can send you back again. I looked up. Look at him calmly. It seems like the first time I've done this today. Look at him earnestly. In this other world. I was orphaned when I was 3 years old. The Gu family adopted me. I treat them as my relatives. Nothing like Moo. I fell in love with Ethan at the beginning of my love. Later, a marriage contract was made. Later, I watched him pick up Sophie's mother and son, living under one roof with us. I watched him favor them, protect them. Think of me as a beast of prey. I've cried, I've made trouble, broken defense, stressed. I even thought about dying, but he never wanted to hurt Su Yun and his children. However, except for the adoptive mother. No one believed me. It's just a pity that I was sent away. The adoptive mother was already very sick. Sometimes sober. Sometimes unconscious. He can't protect me anymore. Mr. Gu, don't worry. I won't be willful anymore. I'll change it. Maybe it was my obedience that pleased him. Maybe it's my miserable situation now. He still felt a little pity. Ethan's eyes were cold and angry. It seems to have subsided somewhat. He even stretched out his hand, brushed a strand of hair open from my ear. Arya, you did this earlier. How can you endure the hardships of these 3 years? Wait to go back. You get along well with Sophie. It's the same with me. Treat her like a sister. I looked at her. He smiled faintly. Sister, it's ridiculous. Okay, Ethan touched my head. Go back and clean up first. Don't let Mom see that you're as good as you are now. I drooped my eyelashes. Quiet and well-behaved. Ethan frowned, glancing at his fingers. He just touched my face. My face was rough from the wind. It will also be chapped in winter. How much I used to love beauty. He knows best. My bedroom has been occupied by Sophie. My piano room became Sophie's sun study. The entire second floor. It turned out to be just me and Ethan. Now it's the 3 of them. It's like a family of 3. Sophie tugged at my sleeve. Apologetic. Arya, I'll let the maid vacate the room. Don't be angry. I'll just stay in the room. I pulled out my arm. I want to take a shower first. Change into clean clothes. Go to see your adoptive mother. But Sophie grabbed me again. Arya, are you angry? Don't worry, I won't rob you. I'll let my uncle take him. Stuff cleared out. Why did you let me move out? Uncle Gu said. This is my home. I can stay wherever I want. Sophie's son, uncle brother, ran downstairs, crying and screaming. Sophie hurriedly stepped forward to soothe him. But Uncle suddenly picked up a teacup. Just smash it in my face. Sophie went to stop it. The cup didn't hit me in the face. It slammed into my knee. Sophie looked at me, biting his lip, actually raised his hand and slapped the uncle. Why are you so ignorant? Uncle Gu just said kind words. You take it seriously. It's not your home. It's your Aunt Arya's home. You don't have a home. Do you know? Sophie couldn't stop crying as she spoke. When Ethan came in, what I saw was the picture of their mother and son hugging their heads and crying. Uncle Gu, are you going to kick me and my mother out? Who said that? Uncle Gu will never drive you away. Ethan bent over and picked her up, coaxing. Then why did he let us move the room as soon as he came back? Uncle Gu, I don't want to live in a human room. Ethan's face sank. Arya, why don't you change your mind? As soon as you entered the house, you were disturbed. Their orphans and widows are so pitiful. Can you be a little sympathetic? Tingjun, don't say that. This was originally the home of Chowen and you. My uncle and I are just sending people under the fence. Be self-aware. Sophie hung her head and wept. The original slender and delicate figure. At this time, it looks even more pitiful as a weak willow and a wind. Ethan's face turned pale. The room does not need to be changed, and you will continue to dwell. So many empty rooms in the house. Can't live you. Ethan looked at me with displeasure. What grievances do you have coming at me? If you want to cry, you want to make trouble. I want to do something to their mother and son. Arya, you know. I won't spare you. I looked at Sophie. Sophie sobbed, dodged the sight. I went to see Uncle again. The uncle's tearful eyes were full of pride. Finally, I looked at Ethan. He seemed to be waiting for me. Jealous as before. Fry at one point. But I was as calm as a deep pool. He even smiled faintly. Okay now. I can live anywhere. The maid's room is also available. I said lightly. So he took the rag bag on the ground and went upstairs. It's only 10 days anyway. It's good to get through it. Even if it's a maid's room. It's better than the leaky tiled house in the village. I didn't pick. I went downstairs after taking a shower and changing clothes. I'm going to see Mrs. Brown in the hospital as soon as possible. Gu. To get to the garage, you have to walk through the garden. At this time, the sun is setting. Ethan is playing with Sophie's mother and son. Originally, he stood aside and watched. It's just that I just came out. Ethan suddenly walked up behind Sophie. He took her wrist. The racket is held in the wrong position. I look at it from this angle. It was as if he had hugged Sophie from behind. Sophie's cheeks were slightly red. He gave me a slightly provocative look. Leaning back slightly. Stick tighter to him. On average, I'm not a little stupid. It's okay, I'll teach you. The uncle suddenly clapped his hands and shouted. Uncle Goo and Mom seem to be a couple. Uncle, don't talk nonsense. Sophie snorted quickly. I don't squint. Walk through the garden. Strode towards the car parked not far away. When you walk to the side of the car, something suddenly occurred to me. Glancing back into the garden. Mrs. in the flower pond Goo's favorite hibiscus flower has not yet withered. I turned and walked over. I want to pick one and take it to the hospital to show her. But I've only taken 2 steps. Sophie suddenly pulled her uncle. Frightened, he hid behind Ethan. Ethan immediately protected the mother and son. Arya, what do you want to do? I'm warning you. I didn't look at the 3 of them. Just walk briskly to the edge of the flower pond. I picked the best 2 of them. And he turned and left. So I didn't see it. Sophie bit her lip. Look at my back thoughtfully. Ethan frowned. Look at me intently. The direction of departure has not been moved for a long time. Even Suyu shouted at him several times. He didn't even seem to hear it. There was no response. 3 years have passed. Mrs. Goo's body was getting weaker and weaker. I waited a long time in the hospital. He was only briefly awake, said the nanny and caregiver who took care of him. He didn't know much anymore. But when I stood beside his bed with a hibiscus flower, but he recognized me at a glance. It's Arya, yes. My tears welled up in an instant. I'm sorry Mom took so long to see you. Mrs. Goo touched my face. The eyes are full of distress. Lost weight. It's just right, you don't have to worry about losing weight every day. Still have to be a little fatter. Mrs. Goo said weakly. She looked at me. Look at the flowers again. He closed his eyes again. She was sober at times, sometimes unconscious. Man is terminally ill. I put the hibiscus flowers at the head of her bed. Whispered in her ear, Mom, you'll be fine. Wait until you're back to health. Let's get a divorce. Leave the Goo family. Go to live the free life you want to live. Mrs. Goo is depressed all year round. As a result, the body deteriorates. And that's why she's like that. It's from her husband's perennial cheating. There is a home outside the home. The most outrageous time. And the women and children who were kept outside. Pick up the old house. Mrs. Goo is angry and seriously ill. She can't resist the criticism of the outside world. Before sending people out. Before leaving this world. My last unfulfilled wishes for her. For 3 years, I swallowed all the pain. I have endured the torment all the time. There is no self-defeating. He didn't find a way to escape back to the capital. One is to accumulate enough points. Return to the original world. Back to those. I look forward to my return to my loved ones. The second is to earn more points. Give my adoptive mother a healthy body. And now I've done it all. The remaining 9 days. I spend 2/3 of my time in the hospital. Mrs. Goo's body began to slacken. Slow improvement. I am also spending more and more time awake every day. I rarely go back to my family. Occasionally, when I go back to get something, there will always be a sight. Ethan playing with Sophie's mother and son. 3 years ago. Such images often pierce my heart with severe pain. I was jealous, aggrieved, resentful but helpless. Indulge in that terrible negativity all day long. Can't help yourself. But now, I'm indifferent. Took a shower and changed into clean clothes. I also asked the kitchen to prepare some nutritious soup. When I was carrying my things and getting ready to go back to the hospital, Ethan stopped me. I have something to tell you. I glanced at him. The voice is calm, you say, but Ethan doesn't speak. It's just that the gaze is fixed on my face. This is the 6th day I've been back. Because I accompany Mrs. Goo eats. So, just a few days. I gained 2 or 3 pounds. although the overall is still very thin, but it's not the same as it was at the beginning. The skin has regained some radiance. The complexion also began to improve. The hair was cut a little shorter. Cut off the ends of the yellow hair. It's even more childish. After all, I'm just 22 years old. Raised for a few days. The state is back. Mom said it was hard for you to stay with him in the hospital. I've been praising you. Ethan's eyes seemed relieved. In the past 3 years, you have indeed grown. Sensible and well-behaved. Only he paused slightly. The matter of the marriage period has to be postponed. With that, he looked at me. Don't think about it. This matter has nothing to do with Suyu. Okay, I interrupted him. You can arrange it. Ethan seemed a little surprised. But I've already picked up my things and walked out. This distinction. It's forever. I just want to spend more time with Mrs. Gu. You're angry. Ethan stopped me again. Grabbed my wrist. No, I said. You can arrange it however you want. I don't want to make a fuss. I don't want to waste time on him either. Deliberately docile brother Dao. I listened to you. Maybe it's this long-lost brother. It touched Ethan's heart slightly. He looked at me. He softened his eyebrows for a moment. Arya, he raised his hand. I want to rub the top of my hair like I used to. Can be Sophie's voice. Suddenly, there was a ticking sound at the door of the bedroom on the second floor. Tingjun, my foot is sprained. Can you take a look? He subconsciously turned his head. I took the opportunity to walk out of the living room quickly. Behind him, Sophie's usual low, timid voice was heard. Arya, are you mad at me again? I was in so much pain just now. I couldn't resist calling you. No, he wasn't angry. You sit down first. I'll call the doctor to take a look at you. I shook my head. Get rid of the conversations. Stride in the autumn breeze. For more days. I'm going home. Ethan began to be in and out of the hospital frequently. Mrs. Gu already knew my decision. So whenever he comes, he urged me to go back and rest. It's not the same as it used to be. It's nice to see the two of us alone. The night before leaving, I was going to stay with Mrs. Murphy in the hospital. Gu. But Ethan came again. Mrs. Gu took advantage of his visit to the doctor's office. Pulled me to speak alone. He sat in a hospital bed. He touched my face for a while. Arya, you're good. Mommy will be fine here too. When she shed tears, I cried too. In the end, she coaxed me like she did when she was a child. Kissed me on the cheek. Let's go, Arya. Never come back. Get out of the room. I didn't dare look back at him again. At the age of 3, he went to Gu's house. I'm just a toddler. Mrs. Gu is like raising her own daughter. Single-handedly brought me up. His nurturing grace has long been greater than his beneficial. I have an interest in this other world. The only last vestige of nostalgia remains. It's him, and it's just him. I went back to Gu's house. Start organizing your stuff the same. There is only a limit to what can be taken. In the end, I only took the and. All group photos of Mrs. Gu. And when it comes to 18 birthdays, the bracelet he gave me and a photo of Ethan. I tore them all up and burned them. Something he gave me over the years. It was placed on the table in the room as it was. I didn't take any of them with me. It was dawn, and Ethan returned from the hospital. The show began. His car had just stopped. Sophie ran downstairs crying. Tingjun, save your uncle. I beg you to save my uncle. He threw himself into Ethan's arms, crying pear blossom with tears. I know Arya resents me, but he can come at me if he has any grievances. Why hurt uncle? He's just a 7-year-old. Something happened. Sophie, you speak slowly. In the morning, I got clothes for my uncle. He was allergic as soon as he put it on. The whole body is covered with rashes. The clothes were just washed last night. But it was smeared with seafood juice. The maid said that only Chow-en had been to the laundry room last night. He knew that uncle was allergic to seafood. He did it 3 years ago. When I went downstairs, Ethan's face turned blue with anger. Yes, my uncle had a seafood allergy 3 years ago. Almost suffocated. The culprit, of course, is me. At the time, I refused to admit it. Scene. He nudged Sophie during the argument. He slammed into the corner of the table by chance. I almost went blind. Ethan was furious. Personally sent me to the country. 3 years later, Uncle had another seafood allergy. The culprit is still me, a repeat offender. But this time I didn't argue. It's not noisy either. Just a smile on the corner of his lips. Watch Sophie play with gongs and drums. Ethan was annoyed by my attitude. Arya, what else do you have to say? I shook my head. I didn't have anything to say. Because of the postponement of marriage. You hold a grudge against Sophie. That's what I did. Isn't it? No. That is, you don't change your nature. I smiled. Whatever you want. Arya, if... Uncle, what are the 3 long and 2 short? What will happen to you? Kill me? Or send me to that hellish place again? I looked at Ethan with a look of discouragement. Deliberately, you never believed me anyway. You won't listen to any explanation I make. If you don't believe me, then I don't have much to say. This is the only way to prove my innocence. Say that. I grabbed the fruit knife that had been on the coffee table for a long time. Arya, what are you doing? I took one last look at Ethan, laughing sadly. You don't really have to practice that look. More than 10 years of day and night together. Like a loved one, like a lover. Sincere love has not been adulterated. Now it's falling apart. Changed. It's me who used to be young and ignorant. Results never thought possible. The good thing is that it's coming to an end. I don't have the slightest attachment in my heart. System said it would help me block out the pain. So the knife was almost completely sunk into the heart. I didn't feel any pain. The body fell limply to the ground. The snow-white dress is full of gorgeous red flowers. It must be shocking and unforgettable. For I heard a multitude of voices in my ears. The most devastated, the most hoarse of them all was Ethan. But I closed my eyes. Gently closed his eyes in the blood on the ground. A scion, a scion. Ethan tried to cover the bleeding wound. But only in vain. He could clearly feel my body slowly getting colder. By the end the breath was faint. On the verge of stopping.